Hello, sweet souls. It's DTO, and this podcast is to connect you with powerful global leaders, people that are transformational educators. And this series is featuring presenters at the Sun Valley Joy Summit that is taking place in June. And today I get to speak with Gary Quinn. Welcome.
Thank you, Dave. It's great to be here and such a small world, as we all know.
Definitely. We're all connected. It's so amazing. And we all have a birthright called joy. So
Exactly.
this
And
5Q interview is going to talk about joy and how we can have that as a daily practice, as a lifestyle. And of course, the Sun Valley Joy Summit is all about that. And I got to learn the origin story of how you and Hillary have known each other for years and how you're an integral part of how this whole Sun Valley Joy Summit started. So let's do question one, which is tell us about yourself and what you'll be sharing at the Sun Valley Joy Summit.
yes, my background, I was training as an Olympic swimmer since the age of 6 or 7, and I did that until I was 21. I had two Olympic coaches on two Olympic teams of individuals, and that parlayed into the world of show business. And I worked in the entertainment business in all facets, as a manager, writer, producer. And the last 10 years of my career was about inspiring clients, meaning directors and actors, how to be their best and how to overcome any challenges that they were having. And that parlayed me into writing my first book, which premiered at the Sun Valley event in 2001 and took me all over the world to 37 countries, 37 cities rather. And so what I teach is the word yes, and for myself, and what I'll be teaching at the Sun Valley Joy Summit is basically to be transformed in the power of yes and really saying yes to joy, yes to life, because happiness is really a derivative of joy and happiness and love. So I'll be talking about techniques about how you can change yourself in any situation, whether it's through rebooting, reworking your principles of changing to your authentic self, finding out who your authentic self is, and really finding that inner strength to create, uh, let's say, an intent of what you want to manifest, even if it's during a chaotic time in your life or in the world, and really manifest your true heart's desire.
Extraordinary. Yes to all that. Thank you. And how great that you brought that background of being an athlete and performance into creating results in your life by saying yes. Such a wonderful
Absolutely.
parallel. All right. Question two. So, what inspired you to explore the power of yes, and how has it transformed your own life?
I think the power of yes and how it's transformed my life, just this word was given to me. I mean, I've always been someone who's been positive and really looking towards change and creating the best results. But the yes exercise came out through, I was teaching, I teach a lot in Europe, and I started in England, and I have taught all over England, all over Switzerland, Italy, and Germany. And I was in Germany one evening, and I was doing a conference with about 80 people, and the energy was quite heavy. And I basically was meditating backstage before I go on, and I said, "What can I tell these people to really change their lives?" And it said, "Have them stand up and say yes." And that was the evening that yes was born. And yes really shifted these people's consciousness, but it shifted my own consciousness because I started to see how the power of yes had really fueled my insight, but also how I was manifesting results based on saying yes. in my life. And I've always been a positive person being an athlete, but I think yes is really the magic green light that is really about empowering your soul to move forward. So it's been a active source of me manifesting, 10 countries that I work in by saying yes when there were no countries that I was even speaking or my books published in. But I started saying yes to Italy, yes to Germany, yes to Mexico, yes to Switzerland, and yes to Japan. And so I work in all these countries and have books there. But by saying yes, it's really a reverb of mine. What I teach is the power of yes. So I'm going to be really inspiring people in this practice.
I love that you get to bring in that message that you channeled from your meditation into practice. And now that just had that ripple effect. Phenomenal. Love, love, love that, because we have these aha moments and then you get to have that ripple effect go out to other people. And here it is coming to the masses right now in this podcast. And so, question 3 is for those listeners right now. I know they'd love to have you share a simple yet powerful yes practice that can be implemented right now into their lives.
Absolutely. One of the practices that's really awareness, and I think shape-shifting your mind is really retraining your mind. What I teach people is how to first start speaking the language of miracles and really practicing through affirmations. Affirmations really create the, let's say, language to change. And the practice that someone listening today is really starting to ask yourself the right questions on everything you do, is really asking, does this move me forward? Does it put me on pause, or is it moving me backwards? So if you can say yes to it moving you forward, then you actually take the action item and do it. The other thing that you can add to that would be set the intention of what is it that you want to have, be, and create in your life. If you don't have an intention or a mission statement, which I write about in the Yes Frequency book that I wrote, it's really the intention is if you state the intention of what you want to manifest in this next 2 months, 3 months, or a year, you set the intent. And then that's when you create the yes frequency attraction. Like a magnet, you have to do principles. One, you create, let's say, what is it that you want to manifest? Two, you have to say the intention or affirmation. And three, you must believe it in order to receive it. So those three simple techniques are just awareness shapeshifters of the mind, but you can write it down, you can say it out loud, but you must do it for 21 days in order to see results, because it takes 21 days to change a habit. And we all have habits. We either procrastinate or we don't do something that we need to do, or we say, I should have done that. So actually, it's just taking action. So that's something, a simple practice is just asking the right question and then writing it down and then stating the intent and then believe it and receive it.
Mm, I love that. In human design, I'm a manifesting generator. So for me, visualizing, writing, when I create music, I can have a feeling to it. And when we shift
Absolutely,
our
because you're
frequencies.
downloading, you're
Hmm.
almost tapping into. I love working with creative people because they really are in tune. And when I'm with somebody or I get to meet some really incredible people, you can feel the creativity flowing. And that's the great thing about using your creative tools. And everybody has them,
Yes.
but they sometimes don't use them.
That's true. Yeah. How many tools are in the shed,
Yeah, yeah.
metaphorically in our lives, mind, body, spirit, that we're like, oh, let's just take 3 breaths. Let's pause. Let's meditate. But then we're like stressed, anxiety, go, 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 fear. It's
And it's
like,
so funny, Dave, because most people who meditate seem to be more creative in their way, whether they're actors, directors, writers. It's really cool when I meet some creative people. Like I get to go to these private screenings and I get to meet some incredible people, and my energy radiates them to come to me. And it's quite amazing how you speak to certain people who are creative. You see the process that they go to. I got to speak to Sir Kenneth Branagh, and it was a
Mm.
movie called Belfast. And I spoke in Belfast many years ago because I do Dublin. And I said to him, I understand your movie. It's all about the passion of love. And he says, Oh my God, how do you know this? I said, I can feel it. I sense it. And so we had an amazing chat. But you can really see creative people the way they don't think numbers. They're in the flow. It's
Mhm.
like an artist, a singer, a musician. And I just love that dynamics because that's what most people need to add more to in their lives.
Mm, absolutely. Which is a great segue for question number four, which is about, there's this negativity bias that a lot of us have, right? We were in this space of like survival as a primordial creature. Like, am I going to survive or not? And there's a fear. And so we have this negativity bias, like just thinking the worst case scenario, right? A lot of times, oh, if I do this, this is going to happen. It like stops us. We're usually a no. So, how does saying yes help override the brain's negativity bias and create lasting changes?
I think by saying yes, what it does to help override your system or your negativity is to really retrain your subconscious. And the more you speak something over and over or repeat repetition, it goes deep into your cellular level, but it also adds this other energy and goes deep into your subconscious to create the conscious from the inside out to really shift that vibration. And that's what it's all about. And I think, I'm always inspired to anything I write about, I basically am feeling it or sensing the word yes. And I think by just saying the word yes over and over, and I've had many people. I had a client once in Toronto. She came up to me on a Monday, and I was there a week. And she said, "My life is in disarray. I'm losing my house. I don't have a job. I'm divorced. Blah blah blah." The list was huge. So I said, "Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to say yes 1,000 times a day, and let's see what happens as scientists." So she did this over and over. She came back on a Friday afternoon, my last day seminar there, and she said, "Oh my God, Mr. Quinn, it works. It works. I got a call out of the blue. I interviewed for a job, and I'm going to be leaving Chicago. I'm going to be moving to Chicago to work in this company. They're giving me, carte blanche, company car, and she kept in touch with me. She didn't lose her house. All these miracles happened that week, and she met her new husband in Chicago, and she's happy as a clam now. And she still once in a while will send me an energy, a note, email, and check in with me. But I think that's the energy how we can override negativity. And the older you are, you have more years of your belief system or your negativity that's trying to melt. We're trying to melt it. So by saying yes, 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 it works. It works.
Yes. And, that's the part we get taught when we're kids in society. So I love these techniques and these opportunities for us to embrace just going
I
for it
think,
anyway.
yeah, I think it's so simple, it's hard.
Totally, right?
It really, because people don't like to repeat. I had a gentleman in Japan, Osaka, Japan. He was depressed for 20 years. And
Mm.
I'm not a doctor, but I said, okay, here's what you can do. I want you to repeat in the 45-minute session with me. You're going to repeat yes nonstop. So he sat there, Dave, with my translator. We basically took a break and relaxed. And he was yes, 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 yes. Well, something after the 45 minutes, something snapped. He ran out of there like a firecracker. And I said to the bookstore, I said, "What happened to that man the next time I came back?" She said, "He went back to work. He was out of work for 20 years. He has a
Wow.
girlfriend. He comes to our spiritual classes and started doing yoga." I mean, look at
Transformation,
that.
right?
And that was 200, you 45-minute yes exercise.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's like moment of like divine intervention to have you there for 2 decades to release whatever that was.
You
That's
override the
just
system.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, reboot it all, right? Um, so question 5 is where can people connect with you and continue their journey, learning more about who you are, and of course those participants that will be coming. Um, I will be sharing your website, but first of all, let's look at the flyer that Hillary Anderson and the team, part of the marketing team
Yes.
here, that is sharing about your workshop, the joy frequency of yes. Say yes to transformation, yes to a new reality, say yes to you, learn how to live a life filled with expansion, opportunity, and success. And this is on Friday the 13th and
Yes.
3:30. two
June.
hour
Yes, I'll
beautiful
be there.
workshop.
I'll be there.
Amazing.
I'll be there a week. The whole event is a week, so it's going to be
Mhm.
brilliant. And there's 4 to 5 speakers. Hillary Anderson will be speaking, Mariel Hemingway, Bobby Williams. I mean, a lot of great people from all over the country. So you can get tickets online at the Joy Summit,
Mhm.
and there's the flyer.
Yep.
It starts June 11th, and you can really just connect and see who's going to be there. Amazing workshops, brilliant people, fun, transformative, and it's really just a joy to go to Sun Valley. If you've never been there, it's quite a energy. It's a vortex of energy, and it's a happening place. So
Absolutely.
it's that you there it is, the Joy Valley Joy Summit, Sun Valley Joy Summit, and
Yep.
it is like a summer camp,
It
really.
is. Yeah. Mind,
And
body, and soul, right?
yeah, it's
June
really
11th through
great.
the 15th.
And Hillary Anderson, who's a great feng shui teacher and speaker and energy worker, created this. And I'm just happy to really participate and really spread the word. And people can reach me on garyquinn.tv. And if you write me and send me a message, I will send you some free audio meditation downloads. My new book is called, I have several books, is Become Your Own Business Guru. That came out in the States and that will come back. I also do a podcast. I just had Stephanie Powers on. I've had Donna Delory. I've had lots of Greg Braden. I've had lots of wonderful people. And you can catch me on any of that. It's on Spotify, iHeart. And I have a new book called Sacred Happiness that came out in Italy. I go to Holland and London where it premieres in May. And then I'll be coming to Sun Valley, Idaho.
Hmm.
So, but if you write me on my website, I will send you some free audio meditation CDs.
Amazing.
So yes, that's the contact page. So
Mhm.
all is good, and I wish you great success, everybody who's listening, and just say the magic word of yes.
Yes. Love it, Gary. Thank you so much, Gary Quinn, for being here. Thank you for sharing your yes, for showing up in the way you do, not only for yourself and your personal journey, but really the impact and the ripple effects for other individuals that are struggling. And as we talked about through this process of people that are stuck, people that don't know the next step in their life, and how great that people get to see you in person at the Sun Valley Joy Summit. Thanks again. Appreciate you, Gary. And
Thank you,
let's keep on
Derek.
being a yes, right?
Absolutely. And I hope to meet you in the near future.
Looking forward to it.
Okay,
All
Dave,
right.
take care.
Appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.